Today, even the smallest of businesses can be using up to 4 dozen or more pieces of software to help operate and grow their business. And so all that software takes time, it takes money, and it takes expertise. And those are often things that are in short supply sometimes. So we envision a better way for small businesses to buy, implement, use software, one login instead of 48, one invoice, one piece of reporting, and a much smaller price tag. So you can think of it as all your business tools and intelligence in a single box.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here with my good friend Jeff Tomlin, who is the co-founder of Vendasta. Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Andy, my man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm glad to have you here. Really excited about our conversation. Let's start off from the top here. We've known each other for, I was thinking about this before the call. I think we've known each other for about 19 years now coming
Yeah.
up. We've both kind of seen each other grow through our careers here. Love what you guys are doing at Vendasta. Why don't we start from the top and tell me a little bit about Vendasta and what you all do?
Yeah. Well, Vendasta is a software company that focuses on building technology for small, medium-sized businesses. And if I was to give you the elevator pitch of what we do here, small businesses are looking for ways to make their phone ring and their door swing. And today, even the smallest of businesses can be using up to 4 dozen or more pieces of software to help operate and grow their business. And so all that software takes time, it takes money, and it takes expertise. And those are often things that are in short supply sometimes. So we envision a better way for small businesses to buy, implement, use software, one login instead of 48, one invoice, one piece of reporting, and a much smaller price tag. So you can think of it as all your business tools and intelligence in a single box. And that's what we focus on.
So great. So let's dig into that a little bit more. So tell me a little bit about how a small business would find Vendasta and how they would use the tools that you guys have built.
Yeah, well, now today we have a few properties where small businesses will find us through Broadlayer, through Yesware, a couple of brands, Calendar Hero that are direct in a sense. But traditionally, over the past, oh boy, since 2011, or probably earlier, 2010, we've primarily grown through working with channel partners or resellers. And that's been the bulk of our focus. And so companies like small, medium-sized agencies, media companies of all sorts in from broadcast to print, technology providers. So anywhere from large portals like web.com to specific technology providers in vertical markets like cars.com or apartments.com. We work in the MSPs with MSPs as well, and then multi-location brands. So there's a host of companies that have, and primarily the focus has been on location-based businesses, and helping them get found online and providing a suite of foundational tools, and then a set of tools to build on top of those to help manage their sales, their advertising, manage their customer relationships, and everything all the way from their e-commerce and their billing.
I love the idea that it's all in one. And there's so many tools, like you mentioned, for a small business to grow. What are some of the most frequently used tools that businesses use when they use Vendasta's platform?
Well, our very first product we got started with way back in 2010 was a reputation management product, and we thought, the big problem that we were trying to solve then was that, um, building a brand had changed. Your brand was becoming less about what you say that it is and more about what other people say that it is. And so customers' opinions were making a big difference online, the user-generated content and ratings and reviews.
Mhm.
And it was actually a really, really big change in the small business space, and this change around transparency. And so that's the first big problem that we undertook was helping small businesses understand what people are saying about them online, and not just in ratings and reviews and those types of sites, but also on social media platforms like Twitter, and in news and then on blogs. So we crawled the web and all the different places you could imagine that people would be mentioning a business online. And from there, it grew to a suite of presence tools. So, how do people find you? So, we started building mobile optimized microsites and then eventually full website platforms. And so that's, the type of media that you own, and then earned media, your different social profiles, helping people manage and update, their presence across different sites like their Google Business profile and their profiles on all of the other rating and review sites and marketplaces online. And then we got into so that was presence, and then we got into social media management and helping people manage their all their social profiles and posting to the web and managing all of their conversations. And so that was sort of where we started, and we call those things a set of foundational tools that almost every business that you can think of requires to grow and operate on online back then, and it's still true today.
Yeah. And so, and then there are growth tools that you have as well, right? So now you've got your presence online. You know what people are talking about with reviews in one place. You've got some social media tools so that you can start communicating with your audience. Um, and then tell me a little bit about some of the growth tools that you guys have.
Yeah, so from once you've got your presence in place, you have to be able to capture leads. You have to be able to transact, whether that's getting someone to fill out a form, or whether it's booking an appointment online, meeting and scheduling, or whether it's actually purchasing something directly from you online. So e-commerce and scheduling, lead capture, you were a big step. And then once you've captured that, you have to be able to manage those relationships. And so, today we provide a full CRM and customer relationship management tools that help you communicate with your customers across a variety of different mediums, because you're having those conversations not just through email and through text necessarily, but you're also having them on your social platforms. And so we bring all of those different social profiles into one sort of CRM view. So no matter where your customers, your prospects have originated, you've got one place to manage those conversations and manage the sort of their life cycle. And then, from that, we've got a suite of billing tools so that you can bill and invoice your customer through a variety of different business types. So whether you're an e-commerce business, or you're a home-based business, or a home services business, you can send invoices and you can collect billing and payments and do it in an organized way.
It's so cool. I love the integration of all these different aspects of a small business and what they need. And like you mentioned at the top of what you were just talking about, is there's so many different tools that small businesses are faced with, and all these different logins, that the fragmentation alone is just a management in itself, and passwords and all this kind of stuff for each of these platforms. So pulling it all into one environment creates this efficiency all the way across the life cycle, for any company. What are some, when you think about partnering with your next agency or reseller partner, when they come to you and they say, "Hey, I want to use your tools to be able to bring this to my customers and grow my business." Tell me a little bit about that journey. What is it like when an agency comes to you, or a reseller partner comes to you?
Yeah, good question. So we work with a variety of different types of partners, and the profiles are as diverse as you can imagine. And we used to work in sort of very specific niches. Now, doing this for a little while, we cater to a whole bunch of different types of profiles. And so, on the agency side, we'll deal with very small agencies that are just getting going, and they're literally looking for an entire business suite to or a platform to grow their business on. And their journey often starts with coming right to Vendasta.com, signing up for free, and starting to explore the platform themselves. And the vast majority of them get going and lift off all by themselves, and then they engaged with other tool sets that we have. But in order, you can start selling products and solutions and providing customer logins for free right now, if you've got a couple of customers. And the journey is very different for our large scale customers. We work with large enterprises as well that they need to integrate with existing systems that they have in order to create a sort of an optimal customer experience. And that's sort of where we started. By the way, a lot of companies start, with the smaller end of the market for, have a simpler solution, and they work their way up market. Kind of did it a different way. We started with the enterprises, and so our very first channel partners were very large media companies, and we had a background in working with big enterprises and knowing how to navigate them, and knowing all the things that it took to be a good partner.
Mhm.
And and in the early days, we really focused on providing a suite of tools to help them sell. So the idea was, if you're going to be focused on servicing a channel and growing through a channel, you really have to support that channel, and you really have to be all in as well. And so, we built tools for them to help prospect, help market, help sell, to help with the productivity with their sales forces. So examples of a couple of solutions like that. We had a snapshot report where, our large enterprise partners could put in the phone number of a business, and it would create, a digital marketing assessment, a complete assessment for the partner, which really positioned them as experts and help scale their sales force significantly back in the day. And on the sales end, especially when you're dealing with a large pool of buyers, you have to find the ones that are showing intent. And we had technology to help them understand which prospects to engage with, which ones were showing the most interest in doing things themselves. From that, we built a marketplace of solutions that they could further integrate, because we decided we couldn't build absolutely everything that they wanted. But there was a lot of people that wanted to integrate with our platform. They liked this idea of having everything in one place. And along with that, and able to support that, we needed to build a billing system where they could bill for all of their different products, not just the products they're buying through us, but also through the marketplace, and as well as their own products that they're already selling, their traditional solutions, and so that they could have a cohesive sort of billing and payment experience for their customers. Just one bill from one logo, right? Um, and then from that, help them scale, with the service platform called Task Manager, which helped them, serve hundreds and hundreds or thousands of customers more effectively by organizing the tasks and the onboarding, and doing a lot of the sort of the robotic process automation, automating tasks, through software that people used to be doing for them. And so that provided them scale. And then the last piece of that solution was providing one place where the customers could log in that was branded. It was under their brand, and it had one place for the reporting, one login, and one place to purchase other products, so that there was this product-led aspect to it. And those are all of the different things that we provided, tools that we provided to our channel partners. And so we were just as invested in creating channel partner success as building the small business solution itself that they were selling. So that's a long-winded background about
I love that. No, it's really great. And like you said, you got to be all in with this kind of stuff. So, getting behind on the sales side for a partner and helping them sell the solution and creating tools for their salespeople to make it easy to be able to show their client, here's where you're weak, here's where you're strong. Let's build some strength around some of those weaknesses for you, and here are the right solutions for you. Becomes a great way for those salespeople to sell. Are you also doing sales training with those enterprise partners, or are they doing the sales training?
No, 100%. We do a lot of the sales training. We've done three-legged calls. Our team travels and sits down with large groups and does group training. We do online training, and so it's a big part of it. You've got an organization that's selling third-party solutions that they're not developing themselves.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of support and ongoing support as well because there's turnover in sales organizations. And so in so much that we focus on training the trainers themselves, um, it requires us to go back and help train the workforces on a regular basis. We're delivering new things all the time. And on top of that, and the turnover, it requires this ongoing commitment.
Makes a lot of sense. Tell me a little bit about the scale of Vendasta. Like, talk to me about how you guys measure your own success, and how many end clients do you guys have, and talk to me a little bit about how big the company is.
Yeah, well, we've got several thousand channel partners that are reselling tools under their own brand, and use our platform to power their entire business. And through them, we've got several hundred thousand paying SMBs on the platform, and then another up to 6 million SMBs that are being supported in one way through parts of our platform that our channel partners use. And so it's been a fun number of years to grow since 2010 when we really got going on this.
That is so exciting. I love that. That's such a huge accomplishment, and what a footprint you guys have created. Um, and signing up thousands of reseller partners and agencies to use your platform like that. Agencies oftentimes are very challenging to, get in touch with and get them to sign up and buy in. How did you how did you crack that nut?
Oh, it's a good question. So in our early days, we did a lot of conferences, and I had mentioned that we sort of started upmarket and we started with larger enterprises. And so that was, very large agencies that served, multi-location brands, as well as media companies and large, technology type providers and marketplaces. And, the place to find the decision makers in those areas were through conferences. And I think in the early days we had some competition out there that was coming out of the gate at the same time that we were. I think that we did a really good job creating relationships. And that was like you were really good at it too. And there was a cohort of people that were able to create and thrive in this ecosystem that we all created. And through all of the different companies that we were operating at the time. And in our previous life, but before we started Vendasta, we worked with large enterprises and in real estate and in the heavy equipment world, and so it was a forte for us, because it's not trivial learning to work with large multinational companies and brands because there's a lot of decision makers, and then um, there's a lot of different things that you need to relationships that you need to manage and different points in the value chain that you have to manage throughout organizations like that. It's something that we were good at. And then as we started expanding and growing, and we worked with trying to drive scale with medium-sized agencies and smaller agencies, did that a lot through inbound marketing. And all the way, if I look back on the growth going back from 2010-ish to the last couple of years here, we grew every single year in terms of our footprint and our traffic, and we did that through inbound marketing and creating great content that was helpful, and uh, and that's where we stand today.
Love that. You're speaking my language with that, with inbound marketing and creating great content. Um, and I know you guys create content yourselves for clients as well. Talk to me a little bit about some of the other marketing services that you offer in Vendasta. I believe there's a paid search kind of component to there, and some other tools in that area for small businesses to acquire new customers.
Yeah, so we like to try to take the heavy lifting off our clients as much as possible. And back in probably 10 years ago, we started providing a suite of marketing and fulfillment services, and behind the scenes, so that our channel partners, when we signed them, they could really focus on selling the technology, learning the technology and selling the technology. And we would help out with onboarding their clients and serving some of their clients. And especially in cases where they were trying to do it at scale. And one thing that, we built technology to help ourselves, and then systems and practices to help serve small businesses at scale. And so that was everything with helping, set up their presence, to helping them with their advertising. A couple of years ago, we acquired a brand called Matchcraft, which, in the past we focused on sort of MarTech solutions. They brought the advertising technology, so now we provide ads at scale. And then we have a suite of different products and services that we provide around website builds, again, especially at scale, and social media management, and to helping them post and create content, because it's time consuming stuff. It necessitates some sort of expertise, and there's people that have it figured out, like yourself, and a lot of people need help on figuring out how to get noticed online, and how to share their expertise, and so there's huge opportunity there and a lot of demand.
Definitely. Yeah, very interesting. And with the full platform that you have, this complete end-to-end solution for a small business, what's exciting for you now? What's coming up, and what are some exciting new advancements that you're making with the platform?
Well, I'm really excited about work that we're doing around CRM. And then typically, the word excitement and CRM don't really go together. No one gets excited about buying a CRM or implementing a new CRM. But as touching on this a little bit ago, you have customer interactions across all sorts of different mediums. You have it on your social channels. You create customers and capture customers, on web forms. You communicate through email, through SMS, and a lot of times, like those conversations are all fragmented, and it's a massive help if you can organize them, and you can and have a clear view of all of your customers from one sort of platform. And there's a few things that we're doing. Number one, around the advancements in CRM, to bring all of those conversations into one place, into one inbox, that is really, really exciting. The other thing that goes hand in hand with that is, people don't just use a CRM so that they can organize their conversations. They get it so they can or they use it so that they can get intelligence in how to scale their business. And one of the strengths that we've always had has been working with data. When we've got all these different marketing solutions, and we crawl the web to understand all the different places people are talking about a business, it gave us a ton of data under the hood. And now with the customer conversations, we've got a crazy amount of data that we can pull together and analyze with AI, and provide intelligent recommendations and intelligent insights to the business, and how they can grow, where the opportunities are. And that's super, super exciting to me.
That is really, really cool. And I can imagine, are you also including phone calls in the CRM, I would imagine, because it's another channel.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And in the office here we've got an integration with Gong, and so they'll be able to use technologies like that in addition to the platform, but we'll also be doing more and more analysis so that they can coach their teams and then just get intelligence out of the conversations about what are are there where are the headaches happening in our customer service department, or where can our sales teams improve, or what about just general inquiries? Is there a theme of where are people finding us? And you pull all that information out of the transcripts.
Very cool. And I would imagine with all the presence management capabilities that you have, with all of the advertising solutions that you have, and now a CRM that kind of pulls it all together with phone calls and all these conversations, it's sort of like sifting for gold and being able to identify, here's where the gold is. Here's a profile about your business that you definitely know intrinsically, but you may have not seen it in front of you in this kind of way, and be able to take that information, that data that you mentioned, and turning that into something actionable.
No, it's really exciting, and the advancements in AI make it's super exciting. It's so much easier to pull out that the gold nuggets.
Mhm.
you know the unfair sort of advantage that we've been giving our channel partners over the years is having this massive landscape of data being collected from all of these different sources, and now finally being able to bring it all together and to provide intelligence on how to grow their business more effectively. Super exciting, and it almost feels like the holy grail to me.
I can see how it's really pulling together. And also on the sales side, I can see that being another unfair advantage for your partners, because you can say, if you have a client in this particular vertical, we have all this data anonymized. You're not going to give anybody else's data away, but you can look at trends to be able to say, here's here's a path for that particular type of customer, and we know that this is a successful path for them. So here are solutions that you can sell to them.
Yeah, I mean that's just one great example of something that a lot of businesses probably don't do a good enough job at, is really understanding their ideal customer profile. Like, who are the best customers? Who are the people that love us the most? And where can I find more of them?
Yeah.
And that's the type of intelligence that we want to bubble up to the people at the end of the day.
So you mentioned something interesting there, is on the sales side for your agency partners or your resellers, is being able to help them identify where they can get more of those customers and be more successful at selling. Talk to me a little bit about that. I understand it from the small business perspective, but I hadn't thought about it from the channel partner perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we've dabbled with these types of solutions over the years. And we can profile large swaths of small businesses, and we can understand what they look like online. So we can take a look at millions of small businesses and see which ones have uh, challenges when it comes to any part of their presence. The ones that have poorer ratings and reviews, the ones that have an underperforming web presence, the ones that don't do or don't have e-commerce, all sorts of different technological integrations, which ones do and don't have these different things, which ones are not posting or not to their social media channels on a regular basis, or responding to social media. So we can start to bubble those things up. We've done projects in the past that were a little more time consuming, but now with some of the technology available to us, we can profile larger groups of small businesses, and then you say to our channel partners, here are the opportunities.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, if I'm an agency and I'm looking to grow my business, knowing where I should go hunting is a huge advantage.
Yeah, where do I sign up, hey?
Right. I love that. And talk to me a little bit about some of the economics of, if I'm an agency, what should I be looking at from a business standpoint? What are the price points that the reseller partners are selling at? What are some of the successful companies look like from an economic standpoint?
Yeah, like there's uh, a lot of our smaller, medium-sized partners start out with a free subscription and they quickly, take advantage of, things that are available to them through the white labeling and the advanced analytics and they would move into a subscription that's, just a few $100s. $200-300 gets you, quite a long ways, as with the basic platform. And even, the larger enterprises that we have, they're looking at, the price of a full-time, uh, one or two minimum wage employees, and they can run a big part of their enterprise on it. And then, so that's for the platform to grow on. And then, their wholesale rates on the actual small business products leave a ton of margin. We have a lot of customers that are enjoying 70-80% margins on the software that they're selling. Uh,
Amazing.
yeah, which is right where you want to be.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic. A great way to leverage your platform and grow your business as a as an agency to be able to not only know where to go hunting to go get new customers, but then also have those kinds of margins built in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. So I guess my last question for you, Jeff, is if you were to forecast out a year from now, what would you like to be accomplishing here in 2024?
Oh man, I was just trying.
Crystal ball question.
Yeah, crystal ball question. At the end of 2024, things are moving really, really fast in this space. I felt that, advancements in the way that people are using and integrating AI into the different pieces of their business, it was all pretty exciting in this past year. And I think in this next year, people are really going to be operationalizing a lot
Mhm.
of that. And so, I mean, one of the things that I'm looking forward to is what we were just talking about being, working with partners to really provide them insights that make a big difference in their growth trajectory. And, that data is available now. And so distilling that and pulling it out in efficient ways that where, people can consume it really easily.
Mhm.
Uh, that's going to be super exciting for me. Um, We've got a number of big partnerships that we're going to be working on and talking about this year when the time is right. And you know about one of them here.
Yep.
So I'm excited for some of the partnerships and relationships that we're creating this year. I think that this is going to be, the last few years were sort of, or the last year in particular was really tough on the tech space. I think that this year things are going to start taking off again. Maybe not in the first half of the year, but when we get into summertime, you're going to see things start, start to take off in this space.
I see that too. Yeah. And you guys are so well positioned for that kind of growth. It's really exciting to see you grow, and every year I'm always so impressed and so many new awards that you all receive, and I just love it. I'm a huge fan of what you're doing. So pleasure talking with you about this as always. Always great to talk to you, and wish you great success here in this next year.
Hey, likewise, Andy. Thanks a lot for having me on. It's always fun catching up with you here. So
Absolutely. All
see
right, Jeff.
more of each other.
All right. Well, have a great one, and thanks again. Pleasure talking to you.